What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another fun, exciting edition of Issues with Wrestling. This week, we've got a topic that's been around the world a bit lately: the work-life balance. And when you put wrestling into it, there's probably not much balance in it at all. So this week, we're talking about how do you mix your work life, your actual work life, with your wrestling in general. Joining me this week is one of the top guys on the MMWA roster, as well as working for Dynamo Pro, ladies and gentlemen, the Doctor of Decadence, Dr. Dallas Stevens. Dr. Stevens, how you doing tonight, man?
Hey man, what's going on with you?
Not much. So I'll ask you this question first.
Okay.
As someone who wrestles, what is your actual shoot job? So what do you do for a living, basically?
I kill bugs for a living, believe it or not.
Oh yeah? So
A
exterminator.
regular Joe Schmo job, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Yep.
Yep. Okay, so how does that affect have you had to like cancel a booking, or have you had to like kind of call off work to take a booking?
Well, there's been a few times that I've had to take a day off because I had to recover from wrestling over the weekend because I'm
Uh
not a chicken anymore, so it takes me a little bit longer to recover. But other than that, no, it doesn't really affect
oh,
it.
okay.
Actually, it's the best schedule to have to be in the business, to be honest with you.
Because you get to make your own hours, or you agree to
It's
take
the
a job
daytime
at the time.
hours.
Yeah.
It's nice having just regular banker's hours, man, because you have your weekends open. So
Yeah. See, I don't have that luxury because I actually work on Saturdays, and in the wrestling business, Saturdays is huge. So usually when we were on a show together in the past, I'd already worked since like 6 a.m. So I was dead tired
yeah,
before the bell even rang. But I love my job, but it is what it is. So
yeah,
I'll ask the next question is here. Do your do people you work with know what you do on the side? Do they know about your wrestling business?
they do. They do know. Yeah, they're very supportive, and actually, they're trying to get a whole group of people together to come down and see one of the shows sometime in the fall. So that should be fun. It's nice because you know how it is in the wrestling business. It's always word by mouth, man. It's how we promote the shows, and gradually, month by month, you get, 10 more people, 15 more people because word spreads. Because as soon as they come down and see a show, they're all crazy about it. They keep talking about it to all their friends. And then that's how, it just gets bigger and bigger from there.
Because there is something I think about the element of, we all see your friends up there, or to see people that you know up there is a little different. So
Yeah.
maybe your coworkers coming is a big thing. My coworkers have come and they've had a great time at these shows. So I think it is cool to have your people there. So
Oh, yeah, it is. It's nice because especially considering that in my situation,
mm,
you know, I it's kind of weird because I started back in 2003 and got hurt in 2006 and took a 15-year break, and then now I'm back. So there's a lot of friends and family that never got to see me in the ring, and now they had that opportunity. So I'm trying to take advantage
yeah.
of it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to perform in the ring, but as long as I can, I just want to try to have as many of my friends and family come see me as possible.
So has your job or previous jobs in networking helped your wrestling career at all? Has it opened the door in some way? Any job you've had in your adult life?
Mm, actually, no, not really.
Mm,
Because prior to pest control, I was in public safety. I was a firefighter for 20 years.
yeah.
So I did that, and I also dabbled in law enforcement for a brief time too. So
Well,
yeah,
it's well known. I'm in law enforcement and I'm an EMT, so that
yeah,
really
I think
opened up doors for
that's how
me.
you and I clicked, man. We got along
Yeah,
just fine whenever we met.
yeah. So I mean, having that EMT cert, there's lots of times I've gotten bookings solely on the fact like, oh, you're a
Yeah,
ref and you're an EMT. Yeah, well, we're gonna bring you
yeah.
in. We need you.
Oh, all the time, man. Somebody that knows that I'm my background always asks, "Hey, man, can you come take a look at me?" Hey,
Uh,
I am a doctor after all. You know,
yes, but it's of decadence. I'm not sure how much that actually counts in the real
you
world.
know, I couldn't tell you how many times people always come up to me. They're asking me, "What are you a doctor of?" I said, "Can you not read the shirt? I mean, can you not hear
Available
that I'm
at
announced in the ring? I'm the doctor of decadence. I mean, how hard is that for you guys to comprehend? If you don't know what the word means, look it up. Ask Google."
and Those shirts available at prowrestlingtees.com. So go
That's
get you
right.
a
Love
Dr.
that
Dallas
plug. That
Steven
was
shirt.
great. Yeah.
So I think tying into to work and everything is there's times where you're gonna be dead tired, like you said, you might skip out on the day work the next day, you might be tired that it do you think it ever actually has affected your in-ring work, be it firefighting or pest control or any of that, where it's like, "Look, I wanted to do this spot tonight, but man, I can't. I'm spent."
Well, back in the firefighting days, I was in my 20s when I was working my first run.
Yeah.
So, I bounced back fairly quick, so it didn't bother me at all, man. I can go all night. That was fine. That was no big deal. Yeah, I'd be sore for a little while, then I'd be ready to go. This time around, a little bit different. Now I have to work smarter. Not, I can't go
Yeah.
out and do all the stuff I used to do. So I just try to take minimal damage as possible. It's all about showmanship. That's what this is about. It's kind of
You
like
know,
old school with me. I'm
let
trying to get
JSO take all the
character over.
damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my wrestling ability is mediocre at best, and there you go. I admitted it, but you know what? I make up for it because everybody says that I cheat or that my friends cheat. Well, you know what? It's only cheating if you get caught. And by the way,
exactly.
you're my favorite zebra because you're the only one that does not get on my nerves and get in my way, and I appreciate it.
And you know what? I will say, even though I've caught you a couple times doing some nefarious things, looking back
I
at the
don't know what
footage,
you're talking about.
yeah, looking back at the footage, I've missed a lot of stuff you've done too. So you naughty boy. So
Hey,
it's only cheating if you get caught, like you just said, and you didn't
that's
get caught.
right.
So we're
Hey,
leaving
you
it
know
there.
what? The, no, we, we don't need rules, man. We make our own rules.
So, what do you think has caused like, have you missed a life event because of either work or wrestling? Like, have you not been there for a birthday party or a friend's event because you had a booking or because you had to work?
Oh man, that's a good question. I have to really think about that. Nothing really comes to the top of my head, to be honest with you. I think I kind of
Because,
lucked out in that department.
because I mean, again, being in law enforcement, there's no such thing as holidays. So yeah, I've missed a lot of
Yeah,
holidays for through work.
it
So,
just kind of worked out because, like, in my family, it was like, hey, Christmas Eve is more of a big deal than Christmas Day, or vice versa. There was
mhm,
always wiggle room with that. So
mhm,
I was able to at least get off one of the days. You know what I mean? And then sometimes you just had to make up for like a day after. Celebrate it then. Sometimes you got to do that. That's how it
yeah,
is. Because you're right. Because man, back in the law enforcement days, I worked 12, 16-hour days, and
yeah.
I rarely seen anybody. And next thing I knew, my kid went from like 10 to like 13. And I was like, whoa, what happened?
I did not approve
So
of this. Uh,
yeah.
I know that in my case too is I actually skipped a friend's birthday party because I had a relatively big booking. It was a booking at like a concert hall. It was at Delmar Hall, and my friend was having a birthday party. And I was like, "Look, man, it's one birthday. This is a big opportunity. I hope you understand."
Oh yeah. So
And he did. He did.
how do you take that, by the way?
He was like, "You'd be stupid to come to this party. I'm gonna have one next year. Go to the show." So I've got good friends like that. So that's how that worked out. Uh,
Awesome.
but okay. So the next question: what do you think have affected your life relationships more, work or wrestling?
Oh, I have to say it's probably a little bit of both
Mhm.
because I mean, well, just depending on what I was doing career wise at the time. Obviously public safety was the most time consuming, so that was a factor with that. Uh, Man, I don't know.
It's tough to say that because, like, for me anyway, I know for the most part when I'm gonna work, unless something serious happens,
Yeah.
I I I'm gonna be home 3, 4 o'clock. I've been called the day of for a booking before and been like, hey, honey, can I go?" So I don't know if it's happened to you where it's been like day of, you got the call, but it certainly happened to me, and I've been like, "Hey, do you mind? I know we somewhat had plans, but"
Yeah. Man, sorry, I had a message. I had to check that real fast.
Yeah.
My kid.
Hey,
Oh,
life wrestling balance. Like I said, it happens that way sometimes.
yes. Yes, it does. I just love being back. I love doing it, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's cool to actually talk to you like out of character because don't get me wrong, it's fun.
Well,
Like
we're
originally, whenever I came on here, I was gonna start chewing you out, calling you a fat, bald, ugly zebra. But you know
yeah.
what? I'm not gonna do
Well,
that. I'm not that kind of guy.
this
Because you
this
know what? I
this is
actually like you. So there you
yeah.
go.
This is strictly a non-kayfabe podcast. We're all friends here,
Hey,
so we know how it works.
see, I'll take that, man. It's nice to actually talk to you like a person.
Yes. All right. So, I mean, have you had that last minute thing where you were like, you're sitting there at home and somebody calls and says, "Hey, we could use you tonight if you want to come up," and you look at the wife or the girlfriend and be like, "Hey, do you care?"
Yeah. So on that, so sorry because I got distracted earlier by that
Yeah.
message. So the second half of that on the wrestling side of things, man, my wife can't stand it. Like seriously, I mean, God love her because she puts up with it because I love it so much.
Mhm.
But it's not her thing, and she just kind of bears through it. You know,
Yeah.
she's used to it now.
Does she
But
come to
man,
shows?
she doesn't anymore, man. She did at
Ah,
first, but she's like, hey, once I've seen it, a few of them, I've seen them all. That's her way of thinking. So, and that's
yeah,
fine. It's not a big deal. Her thing is, be careful, don't get hurt. I'll see you when you get home. I'm like, okay.
yeah. We still need you to make real money out there in the real world, so don't get hurt. You can't
Yes,
work.
yes, yeah. Don't do anything crazy. Remember, you're not 24, 25 anymore. I'm like, okay, dear.
I think my biggest thing is my kids when they were younger. It was a family event. We'd go to these
Yeah.
shows together. Now they're teenagers, and the last thing they want to do is go sit and watch dad work at some local indie show. But
Yeah, but you know what? Unless they're into it, man, they're into the business. That's a whole nother ball game. It's far and few between. But man, if you have somebody that will come with you and that's
yeah,
there along for the ride, that's what makes it worth it.
my youngest, he likes to go when he has a part. Like if someone's gonna tear his sign or if he needs to cry on cue, he's a great actor. So
Oh, really?
if yeah, if like we did some stuff with Snitch in the past where he tore a sign up and he started crying, it was great. Or he'll get shoved down by I think it was who was that? Oh, it was Jack Gamble shoved him down into his seat. He loved
Ooh.
that. But yeah, but if he's coming just to watch, he's like, okay, I'll come, but it's like, can I do
Oh,
something?
he wants to participate.
Yes, absolutely. And that's where it's still fun for him. But if there's nothing for him, if creative nothing for him, he wants nothing to do with it. So
Yeah, man. I can't say I blame him. I want
yeah,
to participate too. So
yeah.
it's
So
awesome.
we talk a lot about wrestling is a family and all that. So have you
Yeah.
made some people that you would call family in the wrestling business,
Yeah, actually I have. I
and
have.
not
I
and not just JSO?
Oh yeah. Hey, of course you got to bring up my BFF, because he is the avatar of excellence. Your South Broadway savior, and soon to be once again MMWA Tag Team Champion with Tommy Davis. It's coming, trust me. Kings of
Um,
Revolution have a plan. Okay, sorry, I had to plug that. Okay, no,
Got to get that out
yeah,
there.
I have. I've made like Tommy Davis.
Mhm.
Man, good kid, man. That kid's got so much talent. It's
He does.
ridiculous.
He does.
He
Bright
does,
future.
man. And he's just scratching the surface. He's a couple more years, he'll be fine tuned. He'll be able to go anywhere and do anything, guaranteed.
So, I mean, on the flip side of that, have you ever been in an angle with someone where it's like, look, I want to work with you? Because, in my real life, there's plenty of people I don't like at my job, any of my
Yeah,
jobs. And in the wrestling
right.
business, there's been people that I've been in the ring with, and even as a ref, that I'm like, look, I really don't care for you, but we made it work. So, how do you make it
Yeah.
work with someone that you don't really maybe care for,
Well,
just like you're in the
that's
real
just the way
world?
it is, man. I mean, if you think about it, I guess that's where the professional part of professional wrestler and the title comes from, man. We
Hmm.
got to be professional about it. Just because I may not care for you, you may not care for me, doesn't mean we can't do business, man, because we're both there to serve the same purpose, entertain the
There's
people, and make a few bucks doing it.
yes,
And we
yes.
get to do what we love, as long as there's that, unspoken word of trust, just, hey, protect each other because it's a dance, as long as they do business and they're professional, I can do it. I have done it. Trust me.
You're not gonna hurt
There
me.
was
I'm
a
not
time
gonna
a
hurt
long, long
you.
time ago I almost did not do that, but
Mhm.
I held my own, and I'm old school, so I went professional, and that's how you should be. You should always be professional in the
Yeah.
business. But overall, it's all about respect. I mean, you're always going to have bad apples everywhere you go. It doesn't really matter what it is, what industry, what business, or anything like that. But
Yeah.
for the most part, especially around in our area, the St. Louis Metro, man, great group of guys and gals. It's
So
amazing.
that
They're
that's
all
that's what's that's what I find very fascinating about St. Louis Metro, is that it's not really that big of a city anymore. But
no,
given its history and given what it used to mean to wrestling, that you still have
yeah,
all of these companies that are still out there. I mean, you have your MMWAs, your Dynamos, your Glories, CHWA. You have, you know, Illinois Elite. You have all these PWE. You have all these companies that are doing their own thing, and I don't think any other city could sustain that like we do. That many
yeah. You
companies
know what?
working at
It's
once.
amazing because I'll tell you this right now. 20 years ago, there was not that many
No,
promotions, especially
no.
this close together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you have like a smorgasbord of anywhere that you can, you have a variety of places that you can go and see, different promotions, different styles, different talent, it's awesome, man. I mean, if you're a professional wrestling fan, especially the indie scene, man, this is
Mhm,
where it's at, in my opinion.
exactly. So
But
I
you know
know
what?
in
I'm
in
biased because, I live here, but hey, there you go.
yes. I know in my real life, being law enforcement, I don't like to watch a lot of cop shows.
Yeah.
When you were in fire, did you watch Chicago Fire and all those shows or
No, man, that stuff's so fake.
I
Because,
agree.
but it has to be for dramatic purposes. It's
Yes,
not.
yes.
Sorry that cars don't blow up all the time. It just doesn't work like that.
But I'm sure that you
Ah,
watch wrestling when you're not working, don't you? I mean,
yes, but see, that's different because
that's different.
wrestling's
That's
not
our
a job.
passion. Yeah.
It's our passion. It's my old man used to call it his mistress, so it's my mistress too. So I
Yeah,
love
because like
wrestling.
when I do watch those cop shows, like the worst one I ever watched was that Netflix show Orange is the New Black.
Yeah,
I
that was
watched
pretty good.
Yeah, but I watched it because I did work in a prison briefly, and I watched it, and I'm like, "No, no, no, no,
Yeah,
inaccurate,
no,
no." And,
no,
like, when I watch a cop show now, I'm like, "That's not how that works. We don't do
nope,
that. That's not how that
no.
works." But and again, like, even though I do this almost every weekend, I still watch all the wrestling on TV. I subscribe to IWTV. I subscribe to Fight. I go to other shows I'm not even on because this is what we love. So
Right.
it's a weird addiction, you know?
Especially since there's so much product out there for you to watch on TV nowadays too.
Yes. We just wrapped up watching Dynamite before we went on the air tonight. So, I mean,
Okay, I caught that too. It was pretty good. It wasn't too bad.
so I noticed a couple times here on the show tonight, you've slipped into gimmick. Do you find
Yeah.
yourself doing that either when you were in public safety or fire or in extermination now? Do you slip into gimmick?
It's funny you bring that up, man, because that's exactly what it is. Because doing that type of work and
Mhm,
being a wrestler, it's the same thing. It's a light switch. Turn it off, you turn it on. You know, when
yeah,
I wore the uniform, I had to turn it on. I had to be the character. I had to be that presence. Whether law enforcement or fire, I had to be that character. Same thing as wrestling. So yeah, you just got to turn it off, turn it on, man. And it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's weird. Sometimes it happens when I don't want it to, or maybe I do. I don't know.
I have found myself out there in the field cutting a promo on someone during, like, a questioning or during a detainment, and I'm like, "Let me tell you something."
Do you catch them laughing at all?
Sometimes, because like, I
Sometimes.
know when you're in my real life, I've had people come up to me and go, "Oh, hey, Chris Miles," and I'm like, "Okay, not right now, but hi." Yes, been pumping gas or I've been at work. I've had somebody in cuffs, and they'd be like, "Are you this hard on guys at South Broadway?" And I'm like, yeah, come on."
It's funny, being back. I think I'm in what? This is my third year back in the business,
Yeah,
actively wrestling and participating. So that I think I'm just now starting to be recognized now more. I'm
mhm,
starting to catch myself running into people and they look at me and they're like, they know who I am. It's cool though, man. That's awesome. It's nice that you're remembered. At least they paid
yes.
attention for a few seconds and they got to see me and they got to see what I was about and that something I did they liked.
So between the 2 roles, because 'cause I've seen you also do management, because for a while there you were JSO second. So,
Yeah, his right
ho
hand man. Yeah, I was the original. Before that Jay Uso crap, I was the original right hand man. Thank you very much.
yes. So, do you think you might do that once the actual in your in-ring career is done? Will you go back behind the
Yep.
ropes, or when you're done, you're done?
You know, I've been debating that. I did love managing, and I still do.
Mhm,
And funny story is, when we got back in the business together, originally I wasn't going to wrestle.
mhm.
I was just going to manage JSO and see how far we can take it. Because we've always had good chemistry together because we were a tag team back in the day, and we work really well off each other, and I think it shows in our performances. If anything, you guys get a good laugh out of us. Um,
Yeah,
but no, I was originally going to just do that, but then I think it was a show down in South Broadway. I just happened to go with him. I had just got my wrestling license, and somebody was sick and couldn't work, and JSO volunteered me. So that's
so you
how
knew
that
it was
all came to
possible.
be. So whether I wanted to or not, I debuted at South Broadway Athletic Club. And not only that, but I faced, the Hulk Hogan of South Broadway, Moondog Rover, my first match back in 15 years. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was a lot of pressure on me, a lot of ring rust, and I'm sure I sucked. But you know what? It was an absolute pleasure to get my ass kicked by Moondog. He's a legend. So that was
yes,
really cool. And that's a bucket list check. I'm happy with that. And it's been a fun ride ever since, man. I just don't know how much longer I'm going to actually wrestle, but I'm just
yeah,
going to take this as long as I can and enjoy it as long as I can. And then afterwards, probably continue to manage. But I really
yeah.
want to do backstage stuff. I want to be behind the
See,
scenes.
that's my thing. I love being a referee, I love being out there, but I would love to be creative. That would be my
Yeah.
I would love to be on whatever committee it is, whatever local promotion to be, like, moving the pieces, you know?
Oh, yeah. Because you never know,
So
man. Everybody has good advice every once in a while.
yes, yes. So, you mentioned that you got your license, so you knew the possibility was there that you might get back in the ring, I mean
Well, the way I looked at it is funny because whenever I got it, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Originally I was going to get a manager license, but I'm like, you know what? I might as well get the one that covers everything,
yeah,
so that way I don't
that
have to
makes
worry
sense.
about,
So, to
you
explain to
know.
people that are from Missouri that don't know, there's
Uh-huh.
different licensing for different positions, like, for example, my referee's license, I technically can't bump. However, if you got a cool guy with the commission there that says, "Hey, all we're gonna do is he's gonna push me, and I'm just gonna fall into the ropes." They might be
Yeah.
okay with that. They're not gonna be cool with me taking like a choke slam or anything.
Right.
But yes, but like there are a couple referees that get wrestlers license so they can bump. So that wrestler's license kind of covers you for everything. And there even used to
Yeah.
be a ring. There used to be a ring announcer's license, which I don't even understand that. Why
Wow.
does
Really?
why does Chad or Chris Rodell need a license to be in the ring? I don't understand that. They're not going to be physically involved.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me either. But hey, you know what? The commission is the commission, so you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'll remain silent on that one about the commission.
Yeah. It's the price you got to pay to play ball around here.
Yes, the Missouri tax, I suppose.
That's right.
So okay, so probably only going to go 30 tonight because I think we're having a good time, but it's getting late and we're going to go all to. So my last question to you is the family environments too, because the companies that you work for the most part, because I've worked with you in PWE, in Dynamo, and MMWA. They've been,
Wow. I've been around, haven't I? Wow.
yeah, I
Jeez.
know, right?
Yeah.
They've been more family friendly venues. So
Yeah.
given that you're the doctor of decadence and JSO is the avatar of excellence and all that good stuff, do
Yeah.
you change your style given the venue? Like, are you going to work South Broadway different than you'd work, a bar show that we're doing sometime, or are you always Dr. Dallas Stevens?
I'm always him, man. That's it. Like
Okay.
us, JSO and the doctor, man. It's always us two, the junkies for fame, man. Even whenever we're not a tag team together, we're still junkies for fame. That's us, man. We're tight. We're like this. If you see one, another one's not too far away. Trust me. So
Well, yeah,
yeah.
I can see that because I can see that because I don't think your guys' style is overly is a problem for a lot of places that would be like,
Oh no, man. because we're old school with a perfect blend of brawling and
Mhm.
technical and powerhouse. Man, it's a
Yeah.
great combination. And like I said before, the showmanship aspect, man.
Yes.
We just know how to play the character, and that's the whole point. We're trying to tell a story, and if we get the fans hooked on that story, they're gonna ride that ride with us for as long as it takes us. It's awesome. I love it. It's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, you're not Austin Aries grinding your junk in the ring announcer's face. That you know.
No, 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 no. We'll let the in ring action speak for itself. They can see. They're not blind. They'll pay attention. They'll see what's going on.
Okay, so on top of your Pro Wrestling Tea store that everyone should go to, and the link will be in the comments for that store, by the way. Dallas,
Awesome. Appreciate it.
where can we find you online and upcoming shows?
Oh, okay. Well, let's see here. What is it? It's not Twitter now. Was it X now?
X, yes.
X. That's so weird. That's gonna be hard to get used to. That's at Dr. Stevens 84, and
Mhm.
you can find me on Facebook, Dallas Stevens, and also Instagram and TikTok. I'm still learning TikTok though, so bear
So am
with me.
I.
A lot of
So am I.
a lot of social media. I'm trying my best, but it's just way out of my wheelhouse. So I'm
Yeah.
trying. I really am. And then as far as upcoming shows, September 9th, I believe it is, second Saturday of the month. We'll be down at South Broadway Athletic Club. And we're gonna try to tear it up and do what we do, man. We're gonna try to pack that house and
As you
tear
all
down the
do.
house, man. That's what we do.
Yeah, I will say this on the Twitter note. I'm from St. Louis. Nothing's allowed to change its name. It's still Keel Center. It's
Yeah,
still
Riverport.
Riverport.
Yeah,
So Twitter is Twitter. I'm not calling it X. That's all there
yeah.
is to
Okay,
it.
okay. I'm glad that we're on the same page there, because that's a little crazy. I don't get that at all. I mean,
Uh,
was there no imagination with that at all? I mean, I don't understand that.
it's Elon Musk. I got nothing for him, so I don't know. So Dallas, thanks so much for coming on and talking about your work-life balance. Really appreciate it. Again,
Yeah,
check
man.
out the Pro Wrestling Tea. Check out the Pro Wrestling Tea store. Check them out in MWA, South Broadway Athletic Club, September 9th. Hey, and thanks for coming on, man. And we'll see you next time. Okay.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Yeah.
See you
Good night.
guys.
See ya. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for this week. And as far as what I got going on, I got my Pro Wrestling Tea store where you can get this shirt available, as well as many others. Is also a link in the comments. As far as upcoming shows, you could see me August 25th, Columbia, Illinois, WrestleMax STL at Turner Hall. You could see me the next day, the 26th, Centralia at the golf course there in Centralia for PWE. And then September 24th in St. Louis, Missouri, Glory Pro Wrestling. You can follow the show, Twitter, Instagram at IWW Podcast. You could follow me, Twitter and Instagram, and TikTok at 1_2_3 miles. And until next time, I'm Christopher Miles, and I have issues with wrestling.